Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Medtastic Days. We're going to go through the PTAP form today and its requirements. So let's talk about this whole journey with PTAP and how it has been. So as you guys all know, I've gotten admission into MBBS with PTAP. So I really have a good idea of like how the program works and what its requirements are. So the first thing I'm going to show you is just a view of the website. I can put this link up. This is just for this year, well, for 2019, and they've uploaded the merit list and everything. But this is the important part right here. So every year they're going to put out an advertisement, an application form, and a list of institutions every single year. So this was posted 1st August 2019. So applications start in August. So look out for these things in August. Okay, so these three things: advertisement, application form, and list of institutions. So the first thing I'm going to go through is the application form. It's a very basic application form, but there's a few things I want to point out here. So you're obviously going to put out basic information like name, father's occupation, mailing address, permanent address, email, contact number. For permanent address, I put my Canadian address. For mailing, I put the Pakistani one. So it would be mailed to Pakistan, right? So um, email, contact number, and then place of birth, date of birth, nationality. So you have to write Canadian, Pakistani, stuff like that. Then your passport number, place of issue. This is the passport information. And then this is an important part, person to be notified in Pakistan. Um, they usually do contact the person that's supposed to be notified in Pakistan sometimes. So just in case you don't pick up the phone, they're going to contact someone like that. So make sure you put in um, the contact of a person that will actually respond, and that's also important. Um, and then over here for this part right here, the contact number, we actually put in a Pakistani contact number, like we put in my aunt's number, and the reason why was because PTAP could easily reach out to them, and that way any updates would be relayed to us from our aunt. I don't know. We just thought it was better to put a Pakistani number there, but totally up to you. So have you lived in Pakistan before? You just gotta indicate the period and why you live there. Maybe it's because it's your home country and you were just born there. So you just gotta indicate that. Um, Date on which you wish to begin your studies. This was an odd question, but what I put in for this question was, I guess, like normally just how medical school starts here, which is around January, December. That's when usually med school starts. So that's what I put in there. I wanted to begin my studies in 2019, 2020. Okay. Do you want boarding and lodging? That's up to you. I just put not applicable. No. How long do you plan to study in Pakistan? What are your hopes? Obviously, MBBS is 5 years, so just put something like 5 years, 6 years. From which country and institution you passed your 12th grade exam or equivalent. So you just gotta write your school and the country you got it from. So I wrote my school and then I wrote Canada. So and then you gotta just choose which one you want to do. So obviously MBBS, BDS, B Pharmacy, engineering. Those are your options. And then you just gotta choose option for admission in colleges in order of preference. So you're gonna put 1 to 8 in order of preference which colleges you want to actually go to, and the list is right here. So if you want to go to King Edward College and that's your top option, just put KEMU first, and then you just put in all of these other options. So you have 13 options, just put in 8. Okay. So just put your 8 options. You might not get into your first option, but you might get into your second. So it's good to have those preferences here. Um, so then you got to talk about your education and your if you've done any university or stuff like that. Um, so for this section, I just put in my diploma, my high school diploma, and then I also did something other like in college, and I also put that there too. I mean, I don't think they really give that much importance, but it's something they ask, so just put it in there. Um, so major subject, like if you have a university like education and bachelor's degree, you can definitely put that here and like percent marks and like the year and examination, and you can put that information in. Don't confuse yourself with this form too much because it's pretty simple. Like the main idea is they just want to know you're like serious about doing schooling here, and they just want to get to like know what your education stuff is like. So then you just got to talk about the languages that you know other than English. So if you know Urdu, just write how well you can speak and write and read it. The source of financing of studies, your own income and whatnot. The name of the bank account where, so you should have a bank account listed here, and the number of the account, if any. So you're definitely going to need a bank account just so you can actually do the fee stuff. And then you just put place, date, applicant signature, and these are just like little requirements here, like little, it's like a little checklist. This is all the stuff you should have when you're going to Islamabad, right? And this is the stuff you should give to PTAP. I would suggest is like, if you don't have any diseases, just don't do this. Like this part is just all about diseases. Um, And over here, this is a physical examination. This must be done by like a doctor. So you just give it to the doctor and they just do it. Okay, so pretty simple. Um, and you do have to do like a bunch of like medical tests. Like you should do blood test, all that stuff. Tell your doctor just do like a general medical test. Like, just get a bunch of those done. Which includes iron, B12. You just look at everything. Okay, you look at a couple of things, right? So and then you doctor just signs, address, puts in all this information. And this is the section I wanted to point out here because this is an important section. And it must be done by a doctor. So make sure to give yourself 2 weeks for this because, physical examinations and like blood tests and stuff like that, they take time to come with reports. So when you're doing PTAP process, you generally want to start right away in August. And you want to give yourself like a good 1.5 month or 2 months to like do everything and get all your documents together. And then sorry about that. And then just talking about the list. Okay, so you're gonna need your grade 12 diploma. You're gonna need your transcripts. Now remember, the diploma and transcript are different things. So your transcript contains your grade and your diploma just says, okay, you graduated high school. Okay, you're gonna need both of them, and you're gonna need official, like the real stuff. Okay. And then you're gonna need your foreign passport and all that stuff, and then you're gonna need your IBCC certificate. And that's your equivalent certificate. Okay. And you're going to need, now if you don't have the actual equivalent certificate, you can actually, they give an equivalent sort of like letter. It's like a replacement for the certificate, and it has like a 3-month expiry, and like sometimes IBCC takes a long time to give you your certificate. So even that letter thing, it works. Like that's the first thing they give you before they actually give you the actual certificate. And then you're going to need your proof of pack origin, and then your SAT2 or entry test results. So for this, you just give in your like username and password for SATs, right? Like for your college board account, you just give your username and password, and that's good for them. And then other than that, there should be nothing more. I don't think there is anything more, and that just sums up the form. Um, and the form is pretty simple, so don't stress out if you don't understand a certain section. Just put in whatever seems like the best answer, okay? Um, and then I really just want to go over the requirements once again. So there's 20 MBBS seats now for BDS. They focus on chemistry, bio, physics, and mathematics, okay? Or mathematics, sorry, physics or mathematics. And you need at least 70% after equivalency, okay? After equivalency, you need 70% in your grade 11 and 12 marks. So basically, you average your grade 11 and 12 marks. That's what equivalency does. And then they basically cut off 10%. So do that. You just grade 11 and 12 marks, average them, cut off 10%. It should give you a good idea of what your mark is and where you stand in terms of equivalency. So if you're doing the entry test, you need at least 60%. If you're doing the SAT2, you need 550. If you're doing the MCAT, you need minimum 500. So minimum 550, minimum 500, minimum 60%. Okay. And if you're doing these other score tests like IELTS 550, these are all the options they have here that you can actually do. And then we have engineering, and they give pretty similar requirements, except it's 60%. And BDS and MBBS, usually that's what most people come to Pakistan for. For pharmacy, is the only one that you actually don't need. So like if you literally just don't have
good mark, if you don't want to do the SATs and you don't have that great marks, like you're just in the 70s, you have the option of pharmacy. It's only 60%, and you don't have to do any SAT or stuff like that for it, and you just pay local fees, and it's actually super cheap. So and then for engineering, you're gonna need to have passed SAT 1 and SAT 2. Okay, you need both, or you can do the entry test. So that's another option, right? So that just sums up a few of the requirements for each of the professions. Now, general condition, you need to have a valid proof of foreign nationality. Now, I know a lot of people from Saudi Arabia, in Dubai and like those other countries ask me like, okay, we don't have foreign nationality, can we still apply through this program? And I'm like, okay, like one of their conditions is that you need to have proof of foreign nationality. And it's not just your parents' foreign nationality, it's yours too. So you and your parent have to have a proof of foreign nationality. You have to be either Canadian Pakistani, Australian Pakistani, American Pakistani, something like that. And then you need to have a valid proof of your PAC origin as well. Neither a ID card or Pakistani passport, any one of those stuff like that. CNIC, NICOP, must have studied and passed 12th grade or equivalent exam physically from abroad. So, you don't have to do all 12 years of education abroad, but you have to have done your 12th grade from abroad. Hence, you would need an equivalency because your marks are not Pakistani system. So, you need to have passed your high school, grade 11, 12 from abroad. So, over here it says quadruplicate, and it talks about the form. So, submit 4 copies of the form, like this application form. But along with that, we kind of give 4 copies of everything else too. So just give it to them, just in case they need it. So you're gonna need your HSSC or equivalent certificate, um, your transcript, your diploma, proof of foreign nationality, proof of PAC origin, just the list that they gave in this form right here. Make sure you have everything on that list. Like it should be a yes on everything for that list, okay? This list right here. And just give 4 copies of everything, I would just suggest, but the form definitely give 4 copies of it, okay? And make sure to have official documents. Don't give them like fake ones, like, okay? You just need your attested copies, like they can be copies, but make sure they're like official documents. Like your transcript shouldn't just be like um your normal report card. It has to be like if you have an external examination body in your country or in your province, um, get an official transcript from them, and you're gonna need to give that in. And once you get in, you actually have to go to Islamabad with the actual original documents. Like first, you just need attested copies, okay? Then, when you go to Islamabad, you're going to need the official documents, like the actual diploma that you have in your hand. You have to take it there. Um, so, so you have to complete the application form and quadruplicate, like they said. And the deadline for pharmacy is September 10th, and engineering September 10th, and October 10th for MBBS and BDS. So if they said you post the form in August, then you have August, September. So you have 2 months to do all of this, and that's great amount of time. That's pretty cool. And obviously you can call their head. Um, if you call them a couple of times, like if you're outside the country, what I've heard that has helped people is that you call them a couple of times and then they pick up, right? But in Pakistan, like you even call them once, they'll like pick up right away. So that's just another little tip right there that I learned. And then you have the institution list. Obviously you got to know that these are all government colleges, okay? So you do have some pretty top colleges like KMU, Fatma Jinnah, Rawalpindi Medical College. You have Sindh Medical College, Khyber Medical College. Some of these are really good colleges, especially KMU. KMU only has like 2 seats, and then like the rest of the colleges have more. Like Sindh has 16 seats for PTAP, so top of the top usually get into like KMU. And if I like show you the new list, you'll see that top of the top usually get into KMU, and this is their mark after like they've gotten equivalency and their SAT and their like FSC marks or their HSSC marks, which is grade 11 and 12. They're put together. So 50% this, 50% that. They put them together, take the average. you get 91.556, which means their average in high school was probably like really high, like 99% or something. So obviously this person got KMU, and yeah, you see KMU. Like you see right away, like these two people got KMU because they put it as the first option, but the rest after that did not get KMU because KMU only has 2 seats. So top of the top. And then they also have a waiting list. And then after you're done, if you get onto the list and you're done through this whole application process, which takes a long time. So their merit lists come around in December, I would say, because they came out in December this year. I'm gonna say they came out in December, but the previous years they came out in November. So watch out. Just keep yourself updated and keep checking the website every now and then. Why? Because you have 5 days to actually confirm that you want you're basically confirming that okay, I accept PTAP and whatnot, and you're just accepting your, I guess, admission sort of process. Like you just kind of go, it's like a step forward, and you have 5 days to do it. You just got to emailed soptap@ead.gov.pk or through fax. So you have 5 days to do that. And then selected students are to produce all their original documents, educational documents, and proof of foreign nationality to room number 505, Block C, PAC Secretariat, Islamabad. Okay, so you're gonna have to go to Islamabad. I actually have a blog post on my blog about the whole process once you get into PTAP. So if you want to read through that, go through it. But it's basically what I'm telling you right here. So obviously, selected candidates will be finalized by concerned institutions as per their policies and real rules. Um, and that pretty much sums up everything I needed to say. Um, I don't think there's much more I need to discuss. Okay, yeah. All I just wanted to tell you that it is super competitive, so you want to make sure your marks are up to par. So, I would suggest really getting above 90% in your high school marks and over 80% in your SAT marks. So, when I talk about SAT, you're gonna just add all your 3 subject tests, and they're all out of 800, so you just add in whatever marks you have, and you just divide it by 2400, whatever scores you have, you add them all and divide them by 2400, and it'll give you a little idea of the percentage there. So, and then you just add 50% of that and 50% of your equivalency mark, and it should give you an idea of your aggregate. And that should be enough. And one thing else I want to really like highlight is that when I talk about the competition, I really want to tell you that like in the beginning there were 5 people on the merit list, but 3 of the people right here actually got in. Okay, so um, it's important that you understand that people did actually get in. So it's not like um if you're waiting on the waiting list you won't get in. There's nothing like that. You're gonna get in. And it's just really good to just wait for the second merit list, just in case you don't get into the first. Like look, it closed on 81.7, but you could see 81.5, 81.5, 81.223, so they got into. So it is competitive, but that doesn't mean you don't have a chance. So as you can see, this is why I talked about the aggregate, guys. You need to have a good aggregate, okay? Because really they choose the best of the best, so you should have good marks. That's the only way to get onto this list, and it only gets more competitive every year. So study hard. You got on the SATs. Like some people, they did good on both the SAT and the HSSC or the FSC marks, and then some people they didn't do as good on the SAT. They didn't do good as good in high school, but they did do good on the SAT marks, which makes their aggregate higher. So both of them matter, and I really want you to consider both importantly because they're both that important. So that sums up like my whole spiel. And I hope this was a helpful video because I really hope that I can provide some benefit to other people in my position. And that sums up the whole video. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay?